Hello, everybody, and welcome to another chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. As you can see, I'm in the garage again because it's too bloody hot outside, as per usual. Although I have to admit, it's a lot cooler today than it has been over the last few days. But let's not get used to it because it's going to get hotter still. I read a report earlier that I think Monday and Tuesday we're in for like 30 to 40 degrees. It's going to be very, very, very hot indeed. Now, I see a load of you in the chat already. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button on your way in. Let's get those up straight away. It's always good to get in that habit. It really helps my algorithm go ticking. Although I'm more interested in algorithms than I am with Henry Hoover's, like certain retired vicars I reported about earlier on today. I'm glad it made me laugh, that one. Let's have a look. Alan, yes, early next week will be no fun. Yeah, I've got a friend of mine who keeps an eye on the weather, and he's been reporting all this to me, and it's been yeah, interesting reading to say the least. Let's have a quick look through and see who we've got. Patricia Shaw, hello. Donna Blackman, Lynn. Yeah, it's hot, definitely. Been here too in the US. John Harris, hello to you. Tracy Regan, Tyrone Whitehead, good to see you. Cosmic Wartoad, voting live abroad. Julie Baldwin, hi all. Problems with my internet today. Had fibre broadband installed and speed has gone down to 0.5, waiting for it to be fixed. Who have you gone with, Julie? That's what I'd like to know. I bet I can guess because I had problems with the same company when I went to them. Who's this? Pinnacle North, DJ Trump won by landslide victory. Alan Edge, got my dog a paddling pool today. She loves it. Yes, I think that has to be done, really. M. Perry, good to see you. Who else have we got? I've got a few of you complaining about the heat. Who's this? Burger Band Man. Hola, hello to you. Good to see you. It's wonderful everybody's there. You know, I went to Gatwick Airport earlier on today. Well, funny that. Airport taxi driver and all that. And they were very much looking forward to getting to the airport, getting on a plane and going on holiday. Hi, Bev Berry. Good to see you. And nice of you to join us. And I thought, okay, I went to the Marks and Spencer's garage and the drains were blocked. So Muggins here had to cross his legs while driving home, which is nothing new because the Marks and Spencer's garage at the South Terminal at Gatwick, their drains are always blocked. There is nothing new there. And I got home and I had a look at the news this evening and I read that Gatwick's had a bit of a failure. Which would mean that people going on their holidays over there might have a little bit of a problem. Now, let me see, shall we? Yes. Gatwick Airport runs out of water. You heard that here first, folks. So toilets won't flush and the restaurants are shut. Oh dear. So if you want a Wetherspoon's pint and a fry up before you get on the plane, it's tough shit, basically. There you go. Avoid flush and restaurant shut. So what have they got to say for themselves? Gatwick Airport is running out of water as families gather to fly away in the midst of a scorching British heatwave. A burst water main has resulted in low water pressure, with only 2 toilets reported to be working in one terminal. Yeah, and they're full at the best of times. I could see the queues right now. Some restaurants have not been able to provide food or drinks as SES Waterworks to resolve the problem. Airport officials have apologised to passengers and handed out bottled water instead. Some 1,500 homes in the Crawley area have also been impacted as temperatures surge to 25 degrees. It was about 27 when I was up there earlier. Raquel Rodriguez, 49, she's flying to Spain. She said she already had a flight cancelled amid dire staffing troubles faced by UK airports, and now there's no carsies. Ooh. The Worthing local said there's only 2 working in the whole terminal, and you can imagine what the queues are like. I'd cross your legs and wait for the plane, but their trains might be blocked too, like the Marks and Spencers. Nobody wants the airports to close, but there are heated exchanges between staff and people trying to travel with young families. You can imagine it, can't you? You know, going to the airport with the kids and you go, are we? Yeah. It's pretty dire. I mean, there's another one. That's the wrong picture. Yeah, there you go. Quite stacked up there. That's not good. I do wonder sometimes some of these places use stock pictures, really. Apparently, there is a tanker coming out, but it's just a bit third world-like. A Gatwick spokesman said an issue with the supply of SES water to Gatwick and the surrounding area this morning has led to lower water pressure than normal across the board. We are working closely with the water company to ensure this issue is resolved as quickly as possible. Bottled water is being made available to passengers and staff across the airport, and other contingency measures are being put in place to ensure the welfare of our passengers. We apologise for any inconvenience caused. A spokesman for SES Water said we have identified a burst water main in Shipley Bridge, Crawley. I know where that is. And are working hard to resolve it. As we progress with the repair, we're hopeful this will begin to restore pressure to the surrounding areas and therefore allow all of those passengers to use the cars here at the airport. I mean, you know, you have it happen at Crawley, and that's bad enough because it obviously affects the whole airport. And yesterday I heard that the Isle of Sheppey had trouble as well. Apparently there was a burst water main going in there as well, and it's caused abject chaos again. They had to set up a water station at a local Tesco's. It was not great, especially in this weather. I mean, how's everybody coping in this weather? Are you keeping okay? Are you too hot? Well over the top? Are you getting enough water? How is everybody doing? Let's have a look through the chat again and see what we've got. Hello from a hot Chester. How hot is it in Chester, Alan? Cows love this warm weather. Jean Whitehead, hi Jean. Yeah, my mum's got a great garden for sitting out in the warm weather. I won't bother trying to go abroad at the moment. I'm enjoying the UK weather. Yeah, people I took up there today were going to Turkey, and they think that it might be a tad hotter here. The loo window frosted on a plane. Hello, Jason Pritchard. Good to see you. Honesty and truth, I'm looking to get a Brit veteran living with me. Please, others, look to Trevor Colt if you can help. Yeah, we're getting a lot about Ukrainians and all this sort of thing, aren't we? But we're forgetting about those that are, you know, out on their arse, living on the streets and everything else that served our country. They never seem to get a look in and never get a mention in the mainstream media, apart from when they've apparently been naughty, when they've been in the service, like the BBC coming out slagging off the SAS. Well, they can fuck right off, can't they? But that's great, honesty and truth. I hope you get somewhere with that and keep us posted. Hi, Mum. See you in the chat there. Italy, the next Sri Lanka. Yes, it's going a bit tits up there as well, isn't it, Patricia? I mean, the Sri Lankan president, or whatever you address him as, had to scarper on a military plane, and it looks like the ITAIs have had enough too. It's gradually creeping round all over the place, isn't it? And I wonder how long we'll have to put up with things here. I mean, they're talking about this 600 and something pound cost of living payment split over 2 months. Give me a 1 in the chat if you qualify for it or you're expecting it. and give me a 2 if you don't. Who's actually expecting this cost of living payment? Hello, Uncle. Good to see you. Look up. Have you seen your advert that New York has been putting out? No, I haven't, John Harris. What advert's that? Please fill me in. I'm happy to hear about that. Boating live abroad, hiding indoors with blind most of the day and curtains almost shut. Yeah, you've got to keep it cool, haven't you? Crossing the curtains to block out the sun. Matt Walton to. So a lot of you don't actually do it. It's for nuclear war. What's that about, John Harris? Is that the old propaganda, or is that the advert that I read out yesterday? Andy, you read it wrong. Why is the loo window frosted on a plane? Ah, right. Okay. Why is the loo window frosted on a plane, Alan? Wouldn't surprise me if the entire British Parliament had Air Force jets waiting to take them out of the country for their own safety. Cosmic War Toad. Yeah. I read about the leadership race before I came in here, and it seems to me it's turning into a 2-horse race between Penny Mordaunt and Mr. Sunak. And there was some kind of snap poll, apparently, made among the Conservative membership, and they reckon Penny, but we'll have to see. I mean, we did the video earlier. About Penny and the dinghy divers, and we'll have to see what happens there. I'm on doctor's orders to rest and stay hydrated and not be out in a high heat, waiting for a battery of blood tests to come back within the week. Well, good luck to you both in live abroad, and hope you're healthy and it comes back okay. Alan Edge, who's kind of looking at 10,000 feet. Yeah, you've got a good one there. Julie Baldwin, I missed that. I know what it's about, but where are you? Andy the Gabby Cabby, I've lost 3.5 kilograms of my diet since I started it on Tuesday. That's amazing, Julie. Is that literally just shaken soup, as it says on the tin? Let me know. I mean, I'm kind of struggling. I'm up and down trying to do it, but who knows? Mark Hampson, evening to you. Hope you're well. Coming in from Bletchley. Tony, hi Andy. Hello to you, Tony. Good to see you in the chat. Listen, everybody, this is the daily chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me. We've got 74 of you in the chat at the moment, and some other viewers on Facebook, so it's good to see everybody. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like button, hit the thumbs up. Let's get that algorithm talking, and I appreciate that very much. And also, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe to Andy the Gabby Cabby. I appreciate that. No problems at all. I went to the beach and fed the seagulls with my family. Oh, nice. Tic-tac. Yes, okay. Jerry Georgopoulos' sister-in-law flew back to Brighton yesterday. I think our biggest troll is back. Yes. I have noticed a couple of choice comments in there, Alan. I'm just watching at the moment. Let's just ignore stupidity. It's usually best. If you drink loads of water at night, you lose weight. Don't know about that. I've heard that, Jason Pritchard. You see adverts about it all over the place. Hello, Neats. Good to see you. Imagine getting the squits before the plane takes off, and everyone at the terminal looking at you in the toilet without the frosted windows. Yeah, they probably think you bastards. Soup and shake for 3 months. Then 4th month, I start introducing food. Okay, Julie. So I guess you've got to be very disciplined for that, haven't you? Good evening, Andy. Regards from Watford. Hello, Watford's finest. Paul Kelly, do you trust the last 5 with Brexit? I don't trust any of them with Brexit, to be quite honest with you. I really don't. I mean, particularly when you look at all the setup of the media campaigns for the front runners of this supposed prime ministerial race, all very pre-planned. So you wonder how far down the line they're actually looking with things like Brexit. Narinda Pat, hello to you. Good to see you. If you drink loads of water at night, you lose lots of weight. That's running to the toilet. You've got it. Julie Baldwin, I don't know if you've seen them, but there's a couple of morons that have sneaked their way in. Unless you've done it already, could you please deal with them? One of them is quite obvious to the view. I appreciate that. Stomp on them if you haven't done so already. John Harris, how can a multi-millionaire have the needs of a common man? Yes, you are absolutely right. He hasn't got a clue. I mean, that video that was unearthed recently, where he said he has no working class friends, and he was being very specific, class specific, shall we say. It really wasn't a great showing, and we need somebody that can relate to us, can be honest, and really know and understand what we're all about. And yeah, I can't see that with any of that lot. And then you have Keir Starmer on the other side of the coin saying, oh, we need a new start. We need a new start. Well, I'm sorry, it's not with you either. The whole system is completely busted beyond repair. That much is true. Going back to the heat, I'm very concerned about how people are going to cope with it, because I don't usually listen to much about what the media says to wind us up about things, but I have my friend, and he's very much into the weather, and he follows all the forecasts and all of the bits and pieces to do with it, and he's usually pretty bang accurate. And some of the stuff that I'm reading in the news will make for interesting times for a lot of people. I mean, Met Office makes dire warning about extreme heat, and they're not making it up. Forecasters are urging people to take the upcoming extreme heat warning seriously, as the potential dangers are very real. The weather this week has been sweltering, with temperatures hitting 32 degrees in some parts of the country. I've seen it hotter personally. I don't know about you. Exceeding dry and hot conditions have led to fires in fields, while in London, a rogue spark ignited a blaze on some train tracks. Things are expected to cool down over the next couple of days as cooler currents from the north flow southwards, the Met says. Some heavy showers are expected in Scotland, Northern Ireland, and the north of England today and tomorrow, while in the south it will be in the mid to high 20s, so a bit milder than earlier in the week. On Saturday, bar some rain and clouds in Northern Ireland, most of the country will be blessed with a lovely summer's day, says Met Office forecaster Aidan McGibbon. The mercury is expected to hit the mid-20s in the north and 30s in the south's hottest spots. I mean, there's some beautiful weather, isn't it? But if it gets too humid, we've really got to make sure we stay hydrated. Conditions will start hotting up on Sunday as a vortex of very hot air bottled up by the Iberian Peninsula heads towards Britain. It'll be the start of a prolonged spell of high temperatures by day and very warm nights, potentially around 20 degrees, and a lack of relief in the evenings means there'll be a cumulative effect for everybody. By the start of next week, temperatures are set to hit the low 30s in many places, while in parts of the southeast, eastern and northern England, they will reach the high 30s. Of course, that would approach the all-time temperature record, which is 38.7. There's a 20% chance of breaking that. I can already hear people saying, I can cope with this kind of heat. Why do we need an extreme heat warning? I mean, I don't know if you see it, but that is the area where we're going to get smacked the most, kind of all around the South England, probably Newcastle, Manchester, all the way down to the south coast. It is going to be really, really bad. Well, the reason is this heat is looking widespread, not just in the usual hotspots of the southeast of England. Not only that, but little relief at night. So, of course, the UK houses are built to keep it in heat a lot of the time. I don't know about you, but mine is very much. So it's very different to get that relief at night. Could cause health impacts, not just in vulnerable people, he adds, that the heat wave could lead to the other impacts as well on transport and infrastructure. And this is based on experience. We're not just making these impacts up. They're based on the fact that we've seen similar impacts from previous hot spells in the UK in the past. So when we're seeing a repeat of this kind of heat wave in these kinds of areas, we can only extrapolate the impacts that are possible. Network Rail warned speed restrictions could be introduced to protect their tracks, while the RAC said breakdowns were up 10% on Mondays as cars struggled to function properly, I guess tyres and all that sort of thing. Mr. McGivern adds that there's still some uncertainty about just how hot it could get and that temperatures could get even higher than currently forecast. Some supercomputer models have suggested it could be as high as 43 this weekend, although the Met Office said the mid to high 30s are more likely. The Met Office's extreme heat warning is currently in place for Sunday to Tuesday, so they're expecting something. Meteorologists aren't sure when it'll come, but the heat wave is likely to be broken down sometime next week with thunderstorms. That's what we all look forward to when it gets too hot for too long. After my thundery showers clear away, actually the signal for the later next week is for high pressure to build back, in albeit with much cooler air, says Mr. McGivern. That would lead for much of the UK to drier and in many places sunnier weather, returning closer to average temperatures. So the long and short of it, we're in for some hot stuff for a prolonged period. So, you know, folks, everybody keep hydrated, keep your old sun cream up, keep yourself safe, keep indoors in the shade if you can. If you suffer with it, it looks like it's going to be bad. John Harris, thank you for the £1 super chat. I appreciate the support. Thank you for that. I'll go straight in the Coke Fund, and thank you very much. Somebody said the E word. What's the E word? I'm trying to click on thumbs up. Computer is not allowing me to. Yes, everybody, if you haven't done so already, please hit the thumbs up button on the chat. Welcome to the chat of Andy the Gabby Cabby, which we are doing on a daily basis. And it's sure good to be back, everybody. If you've not done so as well, please hit the subscribe button on the chat so we get the algorithm talking about the channel, talking about the chat as well. And don't forget, you can find us on social media and all the other gubbins. That's very, very, very good. Only a 1 in 3 chance of getting super hot, but it's been well over 30s the last few days here in Bedford. I've not quite been up as far as you, Matt, but I've been around like that end of the M25 circular, and it certainly has been a lot hotter up that way. Mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. Absolutely. Well, I must be a mad dog and an Englishman. It seems to me they're making a bigger deal of heat waves today than years ago. I've noticed the last couple of years when we've had a hot spell, it seems to be hotter than the last hot spell from the year before. I might be wrong, but that's just the way it appears to me. Andy the Gabby Cabby, Thatcher said the wisest words: the problem with the socialists is that they run out of everyone's money. Yeah, that's very true. I've heard that before. The elites are now taking on that mantra: nothing for you, only me. Yeah, you are very, very right there. Maybe Spearhead, thank you, Alan. Andy the Gabby Cabby, I've found it easy so far. The soups and shakes are filling, but I have to drink lots of water with it. Okay, I think you lose out on some minerals and stuff if you just go on a soup and shake thing, don't you? So you've got to stay hydrated. Yes, I'm seeing people mentioning 1976, which of course is when we had the big heat wave in the 70s. I wasn't born until 78, so I missed it. A couple of years out there. Didn't have a problem with the heat in 76. Patricia Shaw, I totally agree. Honesty and truth, it's absolutely disgusting. The computer says no, Alan Edge. In a one-off special with Mark Stein online, we tell the stories of vaccine damaged patients and their families tonight from 8 p.m. only on GB News. There's more and more of that coming out now, isn't there? And it'll be interesting to see which way the government goes, what they admit, considering they and the media and everyone was so eager for us to go down that route in the first place. I mean, there's already been a couple of payouts, hasn't there? Can't wait for the thunderstorms after this heat wave normally happens. 76 was a very hot one. I was only 22. I was -2, Alan Pape. You had to wait for 78 for me to turn up. 8 million people in the world. It's crazy, isn't it? And we're getting more dinghy divers come here. Who loves a good thunderstorm? I do. I love watching them. We're an ex-girlfriend of mine, about 3 times removed. We used to go and sit in the car at the seaside and watch the fault lightning and everything off the coast. That was usually a great show, that was. People just aren't listening and paying attention, are they? We are heading for food shortages and travel bans, more vax, etc. Honesty and truth says. Honesty and truth, you know what? I was round my dad's the other day, and he took me round the side of his house, and there was vegetables everywhere. Potatoes, carrots, onions, marrows, runner beans, you name it. He was growing it. And I looked at it, I said, you know what, Dad? I think a lot more people are going to start doing this. They're going to have to. I mean, with the prices of things going up as they are, it's a wonder that more people aren't. I mean, I'm already eyeing up a side of my garden. Shh, don't tell the wife. But it's getting very, very serious all round. Anna Perkins, hello to you. No, there's no summer break, Anna. All it is, I wanted to go back tonight, but where I injured my ribs, I'm still getting a little bit of grief. It was better, and then I've had another flare-up the last couple of days. I'm on a heavy set of painkillers, so I just don't want to aggravate it. I thought, a bit of light training and everything else, but no. I thought I'd give it one more week before I go back. It's awful, though, because Jack likes to go, but he doesn't like to go without me. So when I don't go, he doesn't go and he misses out. So we'll have to get back into it next week. Hi, Trevor Fuller. No, you're fine. You're here. That's the main thing. Doesn't matter. Dave the Rave. Governments hate long summers, possibly of civil unrest. Is very real. Summer of '92 was the rave explosion, and the Justice Bill was drawn up. That's Dave the Rave. I remember, I suppose it was the late 80s, early 90s when they come up with the council tax, and not council tax, when they went from rates to poll tax. And I remember I was living in a flat with my mum, because my mum and dad divorced in the 80s. And my mum held down a job to get her and me by. And I always remember how very worried she was about how we were going to get by with this new tax that was coming in. And all of a sudden on the television set, you saw all this mad protest where people quite simply had had enough. And then it got kind of skewed into the council tax that we know and love today. But yeah, people do go periods where they have had enough. I won't be popular, but I switch the aircon when it's unbearable. I can't stand it. That's Perry. I know the feeling. I'm actually cooler in my car when it's running, but I can't sit here and do this in my car with the temperature the way it is, because it just overheats. So I come and hide in the garage. That's the main thing I can do. Sharon Davis, MBE. How the hell does this happen on this scale? More than 1,000 children, vast majority young girls abused by grooming going on in Telford for decades. It's a distinct failure, isn't it? That how are they getting away with it? How? Thunder like sex is overrated. A few crashes and bangs, and it's all over. Yes, definitely. Tiny Whitworth, very particular. Magic 21, heat wave, more heat attacks and blood clots. Trevor Fuller, honesty and truth. Stephen Dalton, somebody wrong. Nice to see you. I will email Richard. D. Hall has had another video up. Matt Walton, please remind people to check on elderly neighbours and relatives. Keep an eye out for them. That's a very good point, actually, in this weather. If you know somebody that's vulnerable, know somebody that's old, give them a call, check they're okay. And if they need anything, then do something for them, even if it's just something very simple. If it reaches 40 degrees, a lot of people will die. Yeah, I can imagine that could well happen. Kirky Bailey, hello to you. Who's this? Arrow Roger. I'm in Bulgaria on holiday. Fuel is 50p a litre and £1 for a fry up. Jesus, let's all move to Bulgaria shortly. That sounds like bliss. Like all the supposed unprecedented extreme weather, ain't nothing we haven't had before. Good evening, Alan Pape. Yeah, lots of you chatting. Everything will be okay. All we have to do is take government advice, duty of care. Go, Gary Newman, our friends. That pat on the page. Yeah, I appreciate the sentiment there very much. You was here for 1992. Wow, what a year. Yeah, I was 14 in 1992, Dave the Rave. So, yes, I was about 69, Steve Dalton says. Exactly, too many adopt the ostrich position. Conspiracy theorists. By the way, Andy the Gabby Cabby, I'm only allowed 800 calories a day on the diet. Wow. No wonder you lose the weight pretty quick. I mean, I went on a slow carb thing, and that's very calorie limited as well. I was in the Philippines last month, and that was much more comfortable because of their brilliant aircon. That's Watford's finest. Yeah, some countries just get it right, I suppose, if they're prepared for it, don't they? Absolutely. David Crosby, thank you very much for the £1 super chat. I appreciate that. That's wonderful for the support there. Thank you. And thank you to everybody else that super chats and positively contributes to the channel in that way. Very much appreciate it. There's one thing that I want to cover, which I haven't, and that's Mo Farah. I couldn't quite believe what I'm reading, and I can't quite get my head round what the fuck is going on. Now, to me, Mo Farah is probably one of the finest distance runners of any kind this country's had for a long, long time. And everybody has a story to tell about their background. Everybody does. We all have a past, no matter where we came from. But when you get to know somebody in the public eye, and then years down the line, they suddenly come out and tell you that everything they've told you about themselves is basically a lie or a deception, you have to think, what the fuck is going on? The more I think about it, it just doesn't make any sense. You know, this guy saying that his family set up shop over here. He then followed uh, and grew up, and the rest is history. And we know what he did. Now we're led to understand that none of that is true, and his parents, or his father, more to the point, never came here, and he was trafficked here as a young child and kept in servitude and slavery, and he was called something completely different. And at some point, he was pulled out of that situation, and then obviously went down the road that we knew him for. Obviously, all the running and everything else, Sir Mo Farah, and whatever. I mean, I found this article. I've just noticed we've just hit 101 viewers in the chat this evening, folks. So welcome to everybody who has just joined us. Andy the Gabby Cabby's daily chat. I appreciate all you coming in. Yeah, I found this article. Mo Farah's trafficking allegations. I mean, that's what they are at the moment. Allegations will be investigated by Scotland Yard. An investigation has been launched following Sir Mo Farah's revelation about being trafficked to the UK illegally. The four-time Olympic champion was given the name of another child when he arrived in the UK from Somalia, he admitted on Monday. Speaking in the BBC documentary, The Real Mo Farah, the 39-year-old explained he was determined to tell the truth, whatever the cost. This morning, the Met Police revealed an investigation has been launched following the claims that he's come out with. Specialist officers are working on the case. In a statement, the Met Police said, "We're aware of reports in the media concerning Sir Mo Farah. No reports have been made to the Metropolitan Police Service at this time. Specialist officers have opened an investigation and are currently assessing the information that's available." In the documentary broadcast on Wednesday night, Sir Mo said he was helped to obtain UK citizenship by his school PE teacher, Alan Watkinson, while still using the name Mohammed Farah. Obviously, we've come to know him as Mo Farah. The real story is he was born in Somaliland, north of Somalia, as Hussein Abdi Kahim. This is what he's claiming. Despite what I've said in the past, my parents have never lived in the UK. When I was 4, my dad was killed in the civil war there. As a family, we were torn apart. I was separated from my mother. I was brought into the UK illegally under the name of another child, Mohammed Farah. Ahead of the broadcast, Sir Mo, he created the documentary for his family. He wrote on Instagram, "I'm so proud having represented Great Britain and to achieved what I have as a Great Britain athlete. But my proudest achievements will always be being a husband and a father to my family. I did this documentary for them so they could understand more about the experiences that led us to becoming the family we are today. Not every child will have the easiest start in life, but that doesn't mean they can't go on to achieve their dreams. I hope you all watch later, and I can't wait to hear what you think." The Home Office earlier confirmed it would not take action against Sir Mo after he revealed the information to everybody. Now, yeah, it's a bad one, isn't it? You've got this person in the public domain who we've known for years as somebody, and he's gone and done what he wants in the sporting world to great effect, and we all understand he comes from a certain place, and all of a sudden he's saying he's someone else entirely with a completely different backstory. And he no longer is the person who we believed him to be for all these years. a completely different name, completely different person. He obtained British citizenship, maybe under false pretenses, because he claimed to be somebody he wasn't. He was trafficked here. Why now exactly, Tyrone Whitehead? Why now? Why is he saying this? I get the impression there's going to be more skeletons in that closet coming out and revealing themselves over time. Yes, naked has fucked off Chrissy Williams, ably assisted by this finger here, and gone, look, that's what happens. Yeah, how did he get here in the first place? What gang of people brought him here, if it's indeed the whole story? Why has he sat on this truth for all these years, and then suddenly come out with this now? Is there a book in the offing? Is there more revelations or some more big publicity in the offing? Has somebody found out the truth and threatened to expose it? And he's decided to do it before they did. There's loads and loads and loads of possible scenarios with this. Now, I guess we're just at the beginning. It's quite juicy, really, because you want to know why. Why it's gone on, why it's happened, and I guess we're just at the beginning there, and we'll find out. Echo 005, human trafficking is big, even over here. Oh God, yeah, God, yeah. Bye again. There is he back again? Got the troll guys. Yes. I got rid of one of them myself, but we'll have to see what comes in. Listen, everybody, this is the Daily Chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. Thank you for joining me. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Let's get that up and, get the algorithm talking. And please subscribe to the channel too. Let's get everything up and rolling. I did a couple of videos today about other things. Just to put some things out there, and I'll break this video down into a couple of highlights as well. John Harris, £1.49 super sticker. Thank you very much for the support. That's wonderful, and I appreciate you doing that again this evening. That's great. Great show, Andy. Keep up the work, bud. Thank you, Dave the Rave. I appreciate it. We're at 94 likes apparently, so let's try and get another 6 before we go. Helen Pate, Julie Baldwin, your aim is getting better. Yeah. I must admit, with this StreamYard layout, I have the screen where I can see myself here. I've got a couple of buttons underneath where I can do certain things, and then all the comments are on the right-hand side, and I can highlight them. I can, see what everybody's saying and respond accordingly. And every now and again, I do see one of these trolls slip through, and that's where Julie Baldwin comes in. And actual breakdown when she's around, stomping on them and getting rid of them. I can, but it's not always the case. No, I didn't see the supermoon, Tyrone. I would have loved to. That's right up my street. I did see a couple of pictures, but not straight, not personally. Cara Smith, hi, just subscribed. I appreciate that, Cara, and thank you very much for joining us. I don't know how long you've been watching, but I try and get some content out during the day. We try and do one of these at least every day. I saw the Paul Henry the Hoover story. Yeah, I think it was Alan Pape said it's a good job it's not one of the old models on Super Suck. I've got rid of 3, Andy the Gabby Cabby. Yeah, I got rid of 1 that I saw, but I think it was a reoccurrence. The same one playing silly buggers again and again and again. Right, folks, I'm going to, John Harris, I keep meaning to get get round to doing that videos for the members. I really have to do that. Just some, even if it's just daily vlogs or something a little bit exclusive. I haven't forgotten about you. It's just with everything that's been going on, you know, on a personal basis. I thought get the channel going again first, and then the added extras. So I've not forgotten. I really haven't. So please bear with me. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. We're at about 45 minutes, which is about around what I usually like to do. And I appreciate you all coming along. Please make sure, you know, Last Chance Saloon, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. If there's any breaking news about what's going on in London or any heat-related topics or anything like that, I will, of course, bring them to you as much as I can. And yeah, anything else goes on. This actual live stream, as soon as it's processed, I'm going to sit down and chop it up into a couple of separate pieces just so people can watch the highlight videos that don't necessarily come in here and watch the whole thing. So, yes, that's it. Thank you again, everybody, for joining me this evening. Good to see you once again. And till tomorrow, I bid you a toodaloo.